Lesson 313. Now let the new perception come to me. Welcome to the Qigong Support for A Course in Miracles students. My name is Judith and this is the Lucid Mind Center. And the reason why this is called Qigong Support is because at the end I'm going to guide you to a beautiful Qigong meditation about what is the Last Judgement, where we also, within the meditation, I'm going to read God's final judgment, who you truly are. And the Qigong class is also going to help you integrate the lesson and understand the lesson better. I'm going to give you more instructions at the end. So let's begin. Lesson 313. Now let a new perception come to me. Father, there is a vision which beholds all things as sinless, so that fear has gone, and where it was, love invited in, and love will come wherever it is asked. This vision is your gift. The eyes of Christ look on a world forgiven. In His sight are all its sins forgiven, for He sees no sin in anything He looks upon. Now let His true perception come to me. So what we want to remember who we truly are. We want to remember that Son of God, that Christ within us, and allow Him to look at the world and teach us how to look at the world with the vision of Christ, with the eyes of Christ. Let's just read that again. And love will come wherever it is asked. So I'm asking, please come and let me see this with your eyes. This vision is your gift. This is the gift of God. The eyes of Christ look on a world forgiven. So you forgive everything what is in whatever you perceive in your mind, but also with your senses. In His sight are all its sins forgiven, the sins of the world, for He sees no sin in anything He looks upon. Now let His true perception come to me, that I may waken from the dream of guilt and look within upon my sinlessness, which you have kept completely undefiled upon the altar to your Holy Son, the self with which I would identify. This is the prayer. So in the Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to read the idea and the prayer while you are already gone into meditation. So when you read it before, you are in a different state of mind. But once you sink into meditation with Qigong, once we do the preparative process, and you also you also bring into the forefront of your mind the Last Judgement, then you read the idea and the lesson, and then continue meditating. Then the effect is much more powerful, because you are already in an expanded state of consciousness. So meditation, what it does in general, meditation, Qigong, yoga, binaural beats and whatever, introspection, once you're doing an introspection, you're actually expanding your consciousness. When you are focusing on what your eyes are seeing, what your ears are hearing, then your consciousness is actually shrunk, because you are focusing on that field of perception, which I've been talking about yesterday. So for you to extend your perception, you have to go inwards. So your consciousness expands. So the more you practice this, the better you get at it. And every one of us has got special functions. You have got special functions, and you want to actually kind of find out what your special function is and refine it. I'm going to do a special class about the special function in the future, once we have finished the course. And the additional explanation goes like this. Let us today behold each other in the sight of Christ. How beautiful we are, how holy and how loving. Brother, come and join with me today. We save the world when we are joined together. So when you are in union, in communion with somebody, then you're actually changing the world together. We save the world when we are joined, it says here. For in our vision, it becomes as holy as the light in us. I don't know if you've ever read the Celestine Prophecy from James Redfield. And in one of the insights was that when 10 people come together, then there becomes this consciousness, this extended consciousness, which actually creates a wave within the world. It changes the perception. And at the moment it seems like we have got a lot of people who think that war is on our mind, but we don't actually want that. And if there is enough people who are saying, I don't want that, this is not what I want, I actually want peace, then this creates a different wave into the world. We've got to hold the vision of how we want to see it. This is our job as the teachers of love or the teachers of light. It is just that you got to hold the vision, understanding that your vision is influencing the outcome for the whole world. So that's why every single one of us matters. Every single one of us is important. It's like the game of Go. You have got white stones and black stones. And what we want to do is we want to have the majority of white stones, so eventually everything turns into white. It's the game of Go, the yin-yang game. So with this in mind, let's read this lesson one more time. Lesson 313. Now let a new perception come to me. Father, there is a vision which holds all things as sinless, so that fear has gone, and where it was is love invited in. And love will come wherever it is asked. This vision is your gift. The eyes of Christ look on a world forgiven. In his sight are all its sins forgiven, for he sees no sin in anything he looks upon. Now let his true perception come to me, that I may waken from the dream of guilt and look within upon my own sinlessness, which you kept completely undefiled upon the altar to your Holy Son. Like I told to you yesterday, that altar, this is the exchange place. This is where you bring your illusions and say, you know what, I do not know how to do this by myself. Can you please help me? Can you please do it for me? And then on that particular desire, you will receive the gift. This is the altar. It's the connection point, the exchange point. Now let his true perception come to me, that I may waken from the dream of guilt and look within upon my sinlessness, which you have kept completely undefiled upon the altar to your Holy Son, the self which I would identify, which I choose to identify with. It's a choice. Choice is a very, very powerful experience where you choose and say, no, this is what I want to experience instead. This is how I want to look at the world. The additional explanation goes like this. Let us today behold each other in the sight of Christ. How beautiful we are, how holy and how loving. Brother, come and join with me today. We save the world when we are joined. For in our vision, it becomes as holy as the light in us. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm inviting you here to that seated Qigong meditation about what is the Last Judgement. Here I'm suggesting another Qigong class which might be interesting for you today. Here you have got the reading of what is the Last Judgement, and here you have got a whole list of Qigong classes if you would like to do another one. Enjoy.